I'm obsessed with building bosses. Obsessed with building bosses.
Welcome to another hot episode of Tea with Lillian, where we are so obsessed with building. Today we have with us Hair by Elita C. She is one of my favorite person because we went way back, way back. I cannot wait to have this interview. I've been wanting to have this interview, and I want to welcome you here on our platform. While we are going to be sipping on our tea. I hope you like it. This is a special tea. You like it?
Like it.
I like
it.
So our topic for today is beyond the chair. That sounds interesting.
Very interesting.
That means we're gonna go beyond the chair. That's gonna be interesting. Way back.
Yes.
So I need to know, like, what have you been doing? The last time I think we spoke, you was talking about rebranding. But what else have you been doing, like, in life period?
I mean, if we talking about outside of the business, a lot have been going on. As you know, 6 years ago I got remarried. I've the Lord blessed me with 2 more girls.
So I remember you told me you wanted 7 kids.
Yes, I did.
What happened?
I did wanted 7 kids until after the 2.
Okay.
Then I realized I need help. You know what I mean? And I've also learned that having kids really teach you how to get closer to God. You know, it teaches you a lot of the fruit of the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? You learn to love more. You learn to have more patience. You learn to have long suffering. Because after all, they're your kids. Now, if you're a good parent, or the right parent, you're not going to want to kill them. You're going to want to learn to be more patient with them. You're going to want to learn to have more endurance with them. You know what I'm saying? So basically, as time went by, I stayed with my 2, as you know, and then I got a divorce. And then I got remarried. And then he had no kids. So then I said, you know what, then I'm going to have to go again. So true enough, the Lord blessed us with 2 girls. So in total, I have 4. And that's all we need.
So that's it.
That's all we need. And God blessed me with 3 girls and 1 boy. And that's basically that. And I cannot ask for more than that. And I have to say it's a blessing to have kids, because I know there's a lot of people out there that want kids and they cannot have. So it's like you got to cherish and be grateful for what you have.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So how the hubby, handling the business life, and
well,
is he an entrepreneur or?
No, he's actually not. But one thing I can say, he's very supportive.
That's good.
Anything that I want to do or I want to change, because God knows I love changes. I love making changes. He's always there for me. And if I cast out my vision, he's able to see it and then agree with it. So that's a blessing. I'm not just here raising kids. I'm also doing what I know I love to do too. And he's right here beside me, right here next to me. So it's really a blessing to have him in my life and stuff,
That's good. I love that for you.
Yeah.
So how about the business? Well, I remember you had a salon.
Yes.
What came about with that?
Ooh, girl.
I noticed you don't have it anymore.
Yes, you're right. After we were done working together, you remember that?
Which I was hurt.
I know, girl.
I was so hurt. It was like a bullet.
I remember that. Woo. I remember when I tell you I'm leaving, you like, oh my gosh.
I was terrified.
Oh my goodness, I remember that. Oh man, trust me, you were hurt. I was hurt too. The fact that I had to leave and stuff, because you were like a mother to me, Lily. You taught me everything I knew in the hair business, in the hair game. So, it was just time for the bird to fly and, get her own home and stuff, and I am so happy and so blessed and grateful that you were in my life where we known each other for so long. Because of you, I got into the hair game. Yes, I was doing hair way before, but I was doing it at home. Every time I come to the salon, visit you, you're always like, come work here, come. Finally, I decided to come. But anyways, to get back to the salon, yes, I went in Johnson Street. I had the salon. I stayed there for about 4 years. But during that time, that's when I had the two kids, the two older ones, which Joshua is 20 now and Janai is 18. During that time, they were about 6, 7 years old. It was too much for me. Too much for me to handle, to have a business and be that single parent. Because I love my kids, and I always want to be involved in their lives, taking them to dance practice, basketball practice, and then running a business. It's not easy. So, and as you know, even while I was working with you, I've always wanted to do hair at home. You remember that? From the beginning of time. I always tell you, Lily, I want to do hair at home. You're like, no, this is not the proper thing for you. Don't do it. No. And I listened. And then, but time got rough. Time really got rough for me. It's not that I was not able to pay the rent. Business was great, but at that time, I was not doing appointments. I would leave the salon like at 2, 3 in the morning. I'm open at 9 a.m., close like at 2 in the morning. Mind you, I live in Miami, the business in Hollywood. The kids are still in school in Miami. So when 3 o'clock comes, I have to rush to Miami to go get the kids, rush back to the salon to do the ladies' hair. And then watching my kids just sitting there in the salon till about 2 in the morning. I have to bring them home around that time. And then from there, they're already sleeping in the car. So early morning, that's when they have to shower. You know what I mean? And then do the same thing back again. That was not good.
You were married though.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
I was married.
You were doing all these.
Okay, so now you wonder why I got remarried.
No shade.
Okay. I mean, you get to the point in life where you learn who you are and whose you are, and you learn not to put up with anything. For me, the closer I got to Christ, I'm learning the love that he has for me. You know what I mean? Because of that, I had to learn to be real patient with him, with my husband, with my ex-husband, But then he decided to do what he wanted to do, go with other girls and do other things. And me, knowing that I'm a child of God, I was not going to put up with that. So it was time for me to just say, okay, that's it. That's it.
Hold on. Rewind. Hold on. Yes. Nah, I know the ex-husband.
Yes, you knew him.
You were saying he was cheating?
Cheating. Online. Okay?
This is tea. I didn't know that.
Yes, he was cheating.
I didn't know you dealt with that.
Oh, of course. If he did not, let me tell you, we were struggling. We were married for 13 years now, okay? I never believed in divorce. I didn't want to do such thing. All I kept doing is try to work things out, making sure things were okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's basically, it was a lot, Lily. Let's just say it was a lot. He favored one kid more than the other. And they remind you, they both his. You know what I mean? And then he would always come to me and complain to me about that. Imagine that. Your own child coming to you, complaining to you about what he sees his father's doing and what he sees his father's not doing to him. You know what I mean? And that hurts, And I'm not going to stand for that. Wow. I'm not going to stand for that. So I had to deal with a whole lot until that one time I had to put my foot down and say, okay, enough is enough. Now, don't get me wrong. I will always be grateful to him. Always. Because of him, I've come to where you can say I am, in a sense. You know what I mean? I am happy that he has blessed me with 2 beautiful kids. Always will be grateful for that. Because of him, I have a roof over my head because we bought the house together. He has done a whole lot. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm always going to be thankful. But there comes a time where you just cannot handle certain things. Even when you see the person have done great for you, you have to look at yourself and say, you know what? I love me enough to know this is not good for me. I love me enough to know I'm going to walk away and I know that everything is going to be okay.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And that's what I had to do. I had to do it. I had to do it.
Wow. I mean, I can relate.
Yeah, of course you can.
We went through similar experiences in life.
We went through a lot in life
like
together.
When she talks about certain things, it's like, I'm like, damn, like, it feels like that's what I want to say. So we went through a lot.
Yes.
And I've seen you go through it.
Yes.
And you've seen me go through it, like questioning a lot of what's going on.
Yes.
Like, you know, and I'm so happy to see now you have transitioned, and you know, sometimes you have to put your foot down.
Yes, you do.
And choose you.
Yes.
You know, and I'm happy you were able to do that. And you know, and that's his loss. Now you found somebody that is a helpmate, you know, that you are happy with. That's a beautiful thing.
And you're not gonna believe this, because that's somebody right now I'm married to was actually my ex-boyfriend before my ex-husband.
Oh.
I don't know if you get it.
Ex-boyfriend before your ex-husband.
Before my ex-husband. We were dating for at least a year, and then we broke up. And we just went our separate ways. So you knew him
before the husband?
I knew him way before.
Oh, so y'all know each other.
We knew each other. But when we broke up, we never communicated. Never. Even the time I was married for my 13 years to my ex-husband, I have never spoken with him. And honestly, not one time has he even came into my mind. I was so busy trying to allow my 13 year of marriage to work. I didn't have time to focus on any other man. I didn't have time for me to be like, oh, this one was good, that one was good. No, my focus was to keep my marriage together. And that was my focus, you know. And then as time went by, we got separated, not divorced yet, but we got separated and everything. And then one day I was just laying on the bed, and I asked myself, out of my life that I've been living, because I've had a couple boyfriends. So I asked myself, who was always the best one to me? You know? And guess who came to mind? My now husband.
So you reached out to him?
Girl.
Hold up. You reached out. I know Alita. Alita, you reached out to him. You reached out to him.
No, that's not how it was.
How did it go?
Let me tell you. Okay, he came to mind, and then I said to myself, let me go look for him on Facebook and see.
You reached out to him.
I wrote down his name. I went on search on Facebook to see where he at. His name didn't pop up. And I'm like, everybody and their mama have Facebook, so he must be dead. That's what I said. And then that was it. So I just left it alone. The next day, I was doing a client here. I was talking about, you know, dating. And the client said, you ever heard of POF? Plenty of Fishes? That's an online site. And I'm like, no, I never heard of that. I've never even been on
PlentyOfFishes.com.
Plenty of Fishes. Yeah.
Y'all heard of that, girl? PlentyOfFishes.com.
Yeah. Plenty of, I don't know about .com, but I just know it was Plenty of Fishes. So basically I said, oh, okay. So then the next day I decided to go on Plenty of Fishes. And then, because I'm available. I want to date, you know? So when I went on there, there was a bunch of men reaching out to me and stuff. And all I could hear in my head is them going, woof, 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 like dogs. You know what I'm saying? I saw them nothing but dogs. So I'm like, let me just get out of here. Because, you know, I'm not used to the online stuff like that. So the next day, I decided to go back on there again, not knowing why. I decided to go back on there again, to my amazement. Guess who was online?
Husband now.
My husband now. I say, what?
That's amazing.
There he was. There he was online.
That's God sent right
Girl.
there.
So when I saw him, I shoot him a text. And guess what I say? I say, honey, I'm home.
That girl said, honey, I'm home. What did he say? Honey, I'm coming.
Mind you, again, God as my witness, Lily, I have never communicated with this man during my marriage. Never. But at the same time, you know how I am. You know the type of character I have. You know I'm a fun, friendly type of person. I don't take things too seriously. So I just text him, honey, I'm home.
That's funny.
Then he texts back. He's like, oh, hey, how are you? And I'm like, you know who this is? He's like, yeah, of course I know who you are.
Oh, wow.
And then he texts my name to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then right away I asked him, because I knew his parents already. So I asked him, oh, how's your dad? How's your mom? And then he told me his dad passed away 10 years ago, you know, because he was sick or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that, you know. And then after that, he told me he was at work. He sent me his number to call him because he's at work. I said, okay, no problem. And then we left. So, you know, I'm not going to make it look like I'm hungry or anything.
You were hungry.
So I waited 2 days before I text him. So after 2 days, I sent him a text and he texted me right back and we began to talk. We began to speak and stuff. Now, you know, I have 2 older kids, of course. Yes, I knew him, but it's been over 14, 15 years. So I'm not going to bring you into my kid's life. I don't know who you are now, you know. So we begin to date so we can get to know each other again. And as time went by, I was dating and I would get my friend to come to the house to watch the kids as I go out on my date because I don't let him come in, no. You know, so after 8 months, I introduced him to my kids after I got to re-know him again to really see who he is. So after 8 months, I got him to introduce to my kids. Now, I had to do studies to see how I'm going to introduce him to the kids because you have to understand, I went through a divorce. My kids also went through a divorce. You know what I mean? Because when he left, he didn't really care to be in the kid's life as well.
Ain't that something?
You know, he didn't care. So I had to think for them. Yes, I want to move on and, you know, whatever, because we were been struggling in a marriage anyways. So yes, I probably was more ready to move on than the kids were, you know, but I had to let them, you know, be comfortable. So I did my research to see how I can let them meet. And then some research was saying it's best that they don't meet at the house where it's intimate. Don't let them do that. It's best that they meet in a public place. Like in case if they feel like they have to escape, run away or something, they're free to do so. They don't have to feel that they have to stay. You know what I mean? So that time came, I brought them to CB Smith, or Water Park CB Smith. They knew I was talking to somebody. They just never met him. So then finally, they saw him, they ran to him, then they started talking, hi to him or whatever. I let them feel comfortable, you know what I mean? And then afterwards, they went to their water park, they went to play. And that made me feel good because they had a chance to say hi and run off. And then as time went by, it was the 4th of July during that time. So we went to the fireworks, we went out to dinner, that same day. And they got so comfortable with him and stuff. And I never invite him to my house while we dating, of course. I mean, he been in the house, but not for them to know. You know what I mean? So even while we were dating, he came by and got me and take me out and stuff. I never tell him to come in, never. You know, I wanted to wait and see if they're going to be the one to do it. So then one day, eventually, we went out again to dinner and the kids were there with us that one time. My son asked him to come in. So finally, when he came in, then I'm like, okay, we in. You know, they're digging him. So from there, we kept dating, getting to know each other and stuff. And when it was time for him to feel like that he wants to be my husband, he asked the kids' permission first.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh. He asked the kids' permission first and the kids agreed to it. And then he asked me, that time we went on a cruise. It was the whole family. We all went on a cruise. And then that's when he asked me to marry him. And guess what I said? Yes.
Of course.
So from that time, we did agree that right after we get married, we're going to go ahead and have children because he had none. Can you believe this? This man was basically
He
waiting
was
on
waiting
me.
on you.
No kids, never been married.
And he didn't know you needed 7, you wanted 7 kids?
No, he didn't know. He was waiting on me, okay?
Wow.
So we'd agreed that right after we done being married, we're gonna go in, to try to conceive, try to have a baby. So from there, right after we were done married, we got on our knees together, we prayed, we asked God permission, we asked him, to be in agreement with us, or if that's his will, let it be done. I did my research to see how quick this thing gonna be done because I'm older now, you know what I mean? And I can't afford to carry no babies in this, belly. So basically, 5 months later, boom, God blessed us with, with the girl. So we were like, okay, that's great, that's wonderful and stuff. And I offered to give him one, but he asked for two. So what choice I had? So after a year or so, he said, hey, babe, let's have another one because it's not good for her to grow up alone. And he is the only child.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, maybe he's able to relate more because I have about like 5 siblings. You know what I'm saying? And he's the only one.
Yeah.
So I say, all right, if we're going to do this, we got to do this now.
And boom.
Yeah. Then again, got on our knees, asked God permission. This time it happened within 3 months. And that was it. And afterwards, I would say 2 months later, he said he's going to go and have a vasectomy.
Them 2 was a lot. So you was like, yes.
Yes. So when he said, let's go and have a vasectomy, I said, go ahead. Because honestly, that was it for me anyways. I've always wanted 4 after I wanted the 7. So that was it, child. that was the life.
So we spoke about the family.
Yes.
So now, how's business? How I know you struggled in the beginning to see where you belong. So how did you come from the confusion to before I go into that, let me ask you, do you feel like you landed where you wanted to land?
In the hair business?
In the hair business?
Yes.
Okay.
Girl. 100%.
Okay.
Now, you have to remember, all my life, since I was young, I was already doing hair. But when you were raised in a Haitian culture, doing hair is not a career to them. You know what I'm saying? So that was just hair for me. I've always wanted to be a doctor, a surgeon, a nurse. You know what I'm saying? Because in the Haitian cultures, that's what they put in your mind. Either a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever, So basically, I was always confused with that because although I went to school for cosmetology, I also went to school to become a medical assistant. You know what I mean? And I was also into the medical. I'm into the medical field because I know that I could have been a people's person and I love to help people. So I know that would have fit me too. You know what I'm saying? So basically, as time went by, and I remember that I was always calling you, asking you for advice. Like, I don't know if that's where I need to be, Lily, this and that, this and that. And you was always here to give me answers, to always guide me and help me and stuff. But even while I was doing hair at my home, I decided to go to college for RN. I went to school. While I'm in college, I'm still doing hair. And majority of my clients were nurses, but I was going to school to become a nurse. And a lot of them, as I'm doing their hair, they would always say to me, girl, stay here. This is where you belong. Why do you want to be a nurse? Why this? Why that? I'm like, I don't know. I had no reason. I just knew I wanted to go and be that. So as time went by and stuff, I kept doing hair. Because even when I got pregnant with my last child, I was in college. Then I decided I said to myself, you know what? This is not it. This is not it for me. So that's when I really put my foot down. I asked God for guidance. And then he showed me, you can say he showed me this is where I belong. Doing hair is where I belong, And it's not just doing hair, Lily. I get to hear everybody, heart, the client's heart. We get to cry with each other. as cosmetologists, as stylists, we're not just stylists. We are therapists. You know what I mean? They feel that they can come to you and talk with you, and they feel that their business is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I've had daughters and mothers hair I've done where the mother can talk to me about the daughter, and the daughter talks to me about the mother, but the mother have no idea that I know this about the daughter, and the daughter have no idea I know this about the mother. You know what I'm saying? It's not my business to tell.
Confidential.
Sometimes people just want to come by, and if they feel that they comfortable enough to pour out to you, they're going to pour out to you. And you have to be that person. You know, my pastor always said to me that, you know, you are not just a hairstylist or whatever. You are in disguise for God, for Christ. You know, you are being used for him. You are his vessel. So yeah, that's what they see you as, but at the same time they will be pouring more stuff to you, more info to you. So my thing is, when they come into the salon, although it's home base, but trust me, it's actually a salon.
It's
okay,
very nice.
It's a salon. So when they come in, my thing is to allow them to feel comfortable, to the point where they feel that they can cry out to me, where they can tell me anything and everything is not going anywhere. And I also feel if I would go ahead and tell their business, I will have to answer to God, not to them, but to God. You know what I mean? So basically that's it. It's not just doing hair. It's being that oneness with them as they come to you. It's not anybody that they feel that they can go and talk with. They need that one person to talk with. And they're not the only one that's going to talk to me. Sometimes I pour out to them too. Sometimes they help me out. You know, there's a lot of stuff I don't know and they help me with. And there's a lot of stuff that they don't know and I'm helping them with. And that's why I learned that this is where I belong. This is it. Doing hair, this is where I belong. You know, and not only that, by doing hair at home, my kids are right next door to me. They're able to come to me, talk to me, and every type of activity that they have going on, I'm there. I'm there.
It's more flexible.
Yes, and I love it. I love it. I could not ask for anything more. I love it. I love making the wigs. I love doing the hair. If you had to tell me to pick one, I would not be able to because I love both. You know, and all because of you. I'm telling you, because if you didn't tell me to come in that day and I started working with you, Lily, I don't know if I would be where I'm at now. I really don't know. And I'm so grateful to you. And this is not the first time I'm saying this to you. I've always tell you that. You know, every chance I get, I'm always telling you, you know, thank you for, you know, giving me what I have right now.
I appreciate it.
And I am so like proud of you to see what you have become and even more to come your way.
Thank you.
All you have to do is keep going, God. Keep going. The sky is the limit. Just keep going.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, we all need our flowers while we're alive. I accept. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I accept. Okay. Now, when we die, I appreciate you too. Like, I remember, I mean, when you told me that you were going to leave the shop, man, it's not that I was angry and upset you were leaving. You know, I'm that type of person when I get so used. Well, I kind of changed that about me. After you,
I know.
I had to learn, like, okay,
I know.
people come and go. Yeah. And I want people to fly. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
I love when I see people like, ooh,
right.
they flying. But the process of them detaching, it be feeling like, ooh, why am I feeling like I'm being ripped apart?
It's a divorce.
Right. So I was like, just leaving me?
It's a divorce.
Like, I don't think I'm ready for that. And that experience helped me to look at each individual I come across as, okay, I'm helping them to be on their own.
Yes.
Because that was the very first time I had to deal with something like that. Like, I never had to.
Oh my gosh.
So you opened that door of me, like, accepting the fact, okay, Lily, you are here to pour into them, not for them to stay. And
you have
like
an assignment, girl.
This is an assignment. You do what you need to do, and they gotta go.
Yes, you have an assignment.
And it was hard for me to accept it, but I think
you cried.
Yeah, I
We
cried.
talked on the phone. You cried out to me.
I was like, not ready.
Oh, it hurt so much because you told me now. You said first your husband.
I said, oh my God, first my husband then left me.
And now you
Now
leave me.
you. I said, damn, everything is just being stripped apart. And I couldn't take it. Like, I just could not
Yes.
take it.
I remember that, and it hurts. When I told you it hurt like hell, and I after that I kept reaching out to you though. Every week I was calling you, checking on you every week, you know. But I mean, times went by and stuff, and look at that, we're still okay.
Right.
We're still okay. You know what
right.
I mean? And like I said, I'm always gonna be grateful and stuff. You know, we go through changes in life. We just have to embrace them.
I did have a habit too of, you know, if something is done and I feel a type of way, and I'll be like, I'm not gonna call her.
Yeah, that was you.
And she would still call me like nothing happened.
That
like,
was
Lily,
you.
you okay? Is everything okay? And can you believe like you trying to be upset and then somebody's calling you as if like nothing happened? You're like, yeah, everything's fine.
That's why I was calling every week because I know you. You know what I mean? Lily, you didn't even like hugging people. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember.
You didn't like hugging people. Every second I'm grabbing you, hugging on you so you can learn it's okay to hug. It's okay to love. It's okay, you know? And then you even end up going to the same church I was going to. You know what I mean? Girl, we have so much history together. It's no joke.
We do. We have
Oh
a lot
my
of
gosh.
history. We
So
have a lot
much.
of history. And you are the type of friend that even though we don't talk on the regular, like we don't make each other feel guilty.
Right.
That, oh, you don't be calling me like you don't, because you are entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
And then, you know, sometimes you outgrow certain things. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't make me feel guilty. That's what I like about our relationship. It's like, you know, but when we do talk and it's time to catch up,
it's like we've been talking every day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Another one.
Yes.
Marie's another one. Like, oh my God, like we don't have to talk for 10 years. And when we actually talk,
it's like we've been talking every day. Yeah.
I love our friendship.
It's beautiful, and it will always stays like that. We don't have time for pettiness. No time for that, you know. So we known each other since middle school.
Yeah,
since in middle school and stuff.
All I could think about is that picnic table we'd be
Where?
at after school, by the library.
Yes,
that
North
used to be our
Miami
spot.
That was the spot, girl. After school, we sit here and meet. But honestly, you were kind of like one of the good girl too and stuff because me and Marie.
I was a very good. Let them know. People don't believe that I was a good girl. Let them know
you
I'm a
were
good
one
girl.
of the good girls because me and Marie used to skip. That's all we did. Was skip.
I used to skip a couple times too. Yeah, I let y'all influence me.
Yes.
I remember that.
Not as much.
Yeah, that's true. I remember there was a boy. I used to like him a lot. What's his name? Carl, I think. You remember Carl? He was skinny. He used to be on Mako and them.
Yes.
I used to have a crush on this boy. Every time they talk about it, they're gonna skip, so go spin the bottle. I wanna go.
Spin the bottle. Now we know.
Because I want to go spin the bottle to see what's going to happen between Carl and
maybe. Hopefully they'll tell you to kiss Carl.
But nothing like that ever happened. I was mad. I'm like, why? You could never like. But God didn't want that, I guess.
No, he didn't.
We never talked. I don't even think he knew that I liked him.
I don't think so. That was us back then. I mean, I don't know, us girls, for some reason, we were not too hot onto the boys.
Oh, no.
We wanted them to find us instead of us finding them.
If this was us. Not me. Fucking another female. Oh, he would have known.
Yeah. But before we probably would give little hints or whatever, but we're not the one that's going to say, hey, I like you. Come be with us. You know what I mean? So, man, time went by. That was way before the scars in my face.
Yeah, what happened? Let's talk about that. The car accident.
Well, 1998. That was after graduation. That was like a year. I graduated 97. So a year later, that's when I got into the car accident. And it all had to do with, you know, my mindset, the way things were happening. What's so funny about that? A week before that happened, I drank almost a whole bottle of Tylenol to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? All because I was in a relationship with this guy. I was so into. I loved more than I love myself.
Wow.
And by the way, that's not a real love. If you have to love somebody more than you love yourself, it's not love. You know what I mean? So basically, he decided to be with somebody else. I was very hurt about that because, mind you, I was the type of person that already had a low self esteem. You know, when you had no parents raising you. Because I left Haiti when I was 8 years old. My dad was always moving around and stuff. I didn't have a mother. My mother was in Haiti, so basically, I was raising myself. You know what I mean? So you have no one to tell you anything about life. So basically, finally, I got one that likes me, that wants me. You know, so I give him all my heart. He decided to cheat. It was like, what, 18, 19 years old? Because I graduated high school when I was 17. So a year and a half later, I drank that pill after I find out certain things. And then I went to sleep. The next day, me and my cousin, we was going to Walmart. I don't know if you remember the Walmart that's on 163rd Street. That was on 163rd Street Mall, around that way. Not Walmart, Kmart.
Kmart, yeah.
The moment I entered into Kmart, I passed out. So they
That's
rushed
after
me.
you drank the pills?
That's after I drank the pill. But I went to sleep. It was like a night before. It was.
Hold on. You drank a bottle of Tylenol the night before, and you
to kill myself, to die.
You survived the whole night.
I survived the whole night,
and then you went to Walmart.
I got up and I went to Kmart with my cousin. The moment I got in front of the door, the door slide open, I passed out. So right away they rushed me to the hospital. I guess you can say they flushed the pill out of my system, and I was fine. So a week later, I got into the car accident. A week later, I was going to school. I was going to school for medical assistant. Now, remember, I told you I was all over the place now. You know, that was way before cosmetology. I didn't go to school for cosmetology yet. I was going for medical assistant. So a week later, I was driving. I had my own car, so I was driving going to Miami Lakes Technical Education Center. I took the A26. I took I-95 going to A26 or A36, whatever that one was. And then from there, that was it. I don't remember what happened. Till this day, I still don't remember what happened. But they said that I changed to improper change of lane. So it was a van that hit me, and boom, I lost conscious. And that day, I didn't have on my seatbelt. So that's why the side of my face is all beat up. Because obviously, I was fighting the wheel or whatever. So yes, I had to get airlifted to Jackson. They had to give me a trach for me to be able to breathe. So I was in coma for about 3 months. You know, during that time, we lost connection. I was not really talking to much of you guys.
I didn't
know because during the time after high school, because when I was in high school, I was still not behaving. My dad decided to ship me to Homestead to my auntie because I was always skipping.
You were bad.
I was bad. I mean, skipping.
You were bad.
So we lost connection. So, but when I came back, they shipped me to another school. So there's no way I was able to reunite with you guys. While you guys were in North Miami Senior High School, I'm in North Miami Beach, you know, somewhere. But at that time, I started to get my life together when I came back. But anyhow, so the car hit me. They airlifted me to Jackson. They spent about 19 hours. That's what they said, 19 hours on my head. I had they told me my skull was cracked, and then this eye was inside of my head. So they had to spend about 19 hours in surgery with me. And then I went to coma for about 3 months. And then I got out of coma. And then that was it. That's what I remembered. And I went back to sleep because I had a friend of mine that used to go to the church with me. We were very close. We didn't have a relationship or anything, but we were just always close. And when I got out of coma, he was the first person I saw when I woke up. And then he was just shocked. He couldn't even, talk. He was just shocked that I woke up or whatever. And then the nurses, the doctors did everything that they had to do. And then I made it alive. That's all I can say. I made it alive. And then from that time, you would think I would learn to get closer to God. No, I was still just doing my own thing out there, and As time went by, I learned to have a deeper relationship with Christ, and I learned to love myself, and I learned to know that I am beautiful now even more than before the scars, before everything. So we have to understand sometimes it's just a mindset. You can be the most beautiful person alive, and if you don't see it yourself, nothing ever gonna go right for you. You have to see it for yourself. Everybody else can be telling you, but if you don't see it for yourself,
you have to know it.
Oh my gosh. And that was me. You know what I mean? I did not see it for myself. Now with the scars, I can say I'm beautiful. I can say I'm this. I can say I'm that. Why? Because my mind has been renewed. You know what I'm saying? My mind have been renewed. I've learned to know who I am and whose I am. I am a child of God. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to know all that, and this is what I had to learn to teach my children. If I had someone that was telling me these things when I was a child, when I was growing up, maybe things would have been different for me. But what I've experienced in my life, and I know I don't want my kids to experience it, I make sure I teach it to them. I make sure, I let them know that you are beautiful. You are this, you are that. I tell my older daughter, she's so pretty. That girl don't even like wearing makeup. You know what I mean? She can't stand wearing makeup. That's how beautiful she knows she already is. So basically that's the life. I got out of coma and I'm okay. I'm alive and well.
I remember seeing those pictures when you showed them to me. I was like, what? Your eyes inside?
That was me.
Like,
that was me.
That's a lot to process.
Yeah. I mean, afterwards I had to have plenty surgeries because they had to try to push the eye back out. So they didn't want to go more into my face and, cut more. So they had to go back into my head. I mean, literally open up my head to go and push my eyes back out.
So what I'm getting is a week before you tried to commit suicide.
Yes.
That didn't work.
That didn't work.
So the devil got so damn upset because his plan did not work.
Yep, and he's out here to steal, kill, and destroy.
So he came with full speed to
yes,
take
ma'am.
you out.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. And it still didn't work. I'm still here. I'm still here. And that was way before kids. And now I can say, okay, I can die and I still live on. I have kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I've lived to see a lot of things. Although in the midst of the car accident, I can no longer smell.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I
true.
cannot smell. But I wish I did so I can know what my kid smells like. But I don't even remember that, girl. I don't even remember I can't smell. I'm just going on with life.
Wow.
Because I can taste. A lot of people like, how can you not smell but you can taste? I don't have any answer to that. But I know I can taste. And I love the fact that I can taste. I love food, man. I love to eat. So
what about that eye? You able to see perfectly in that?
No, I can't really see out of that eye either too much. I see darkness, just black, but I could see a little bit of light. And I do wear glasses, but the glasses is not for me to really see, it's to protect the good eye. You know what I mean? Like if anything's about to hit me in my face, it hit the glasses before it hit the good eye. So that's the main thing. But that one eye, man, is better than a lot of people with them two eyes. Trust me, it's great. Okay, so I'm very grateful for that. What else? I have a lot. I have a lot of stories to tell. There's no way you can sit here and listen to everything. Okay, believe me.
No, seriously, I didn't go through no car accident, that part, but we have so much similar stories. Like we have a immigration story.
Yes.
We had an immigration story, and we thought we would have never ever had our residency because we was like, what the heck?
We thought they was going to deport us, though.
Yes. We had to deal with that together. Like we was like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? We were so scared.
Yes.
So we could talk a little bit about that because there's a lot of people that feels like they let stuff like that stop them.
And we didn't let it stop us.
From doing their best. And right now, it's actually easier for somebody that don't have their residence here to function.
Yes, more in life.
Yeah. And we were scared, but I'm telling you, we were working.
We didn't let it stop
We
us.
were doing what we had to do, okay?
I went and got my own salon. I had no
Me
green
too.
card. I had no social security number.
Yes.
I had nothing. But
Allegedly.
thank God
Just in
during
case that's a
allegedly,
problem.
yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But during that time, we were able to get an ID, a license, because nowadays they don't let them get a license. Just because we were able to have a license and ID, that's what made us get by a whole lot. You know what I mean? So we didn't let that phase us. If we believe we can do it, we can do it. Okay? So if you out there, you have no papers, you have no green card, you have no nothing, just trust that everything is going to be okay. I cannot tell you when it will be okay because we didn't know when it was going to be okay for us. Because right now we are born citizens. I was able to bring my mom here. You know what I mean? And that's something I've always wanted to do, you know? And we are born citizens. Well, not born.
No, we are citizens.
We are citizens.
Here on a piece of paper.
Right. You know, all by the grace of God. So I'm letting you know right now to stay encouraged, be encouraged. It's not over for you. Just keep having faith, keep believing. I didn't have a social security number, but I know at one point I needed to work. I needed to make money. I didn't have my father around. Before I went ahead and started doing hair, let me tell you, I live on 147th Street. I was living with my uncle. I would walk from 147th Street in Biscayne all the way down to 90-something Street, going to businesses, asking them if they're hiring, if they are willing to pay under the table. Okay? I was going everywhere until I find one place, and it was a pet shop. That lady helped me out so much. I'm not going to say no name, but she helped me out a lot. I was going to work. When I would catch a bus, going to Miami Lakes Technical Education Center. During that time, I was going to school for the medical assistant. I would catch a bus, catch 2 buses to get back to West Dixie Highway where I would go work in a pet shop. Okay? And I would work there like 5 hours a day. I make my money. And then I go home. And afterwards, that's when I had got into the car accident after I made enough money to buy me a car. That car is what almost killed me. You know what I mean? But just be encouraged. It's not over for you. It's not over for you until God say it's over. And God is not the one that's going to just sit out there and just watch you suffer. You know, there's a reason for everything. Just trust and believe that everything is going to be okay. Because of this, we able to have, you know, we have our own businesses and we are able to just thrive in life. So you can do the same thing too. Everything is going to be just fine. Just believe that.
Yeah. But there are a lot of immigration scammers out there because we went through some.
Yes.
We lost a lot of money.
Oh my gosh.
We lost a lot. Well, I stopped after a while. I was like, let me see how your situation pans out. Because I'm not spending another dollar, you know? But there are people taking advantage.
Yes, and we have been taken advantage of. We must have spent at least close to $6,000 each. Paying that, and we had the guy telling us to go to a certain place where they're taking our pictures.
Lies.
Oh my God!
They set that thing up so nice.
We cry in each other's
but
arms.
Thank God, by the grace of God, we got out of that. And I feel so sorry for people that are dealing with that because I know how crazy it can get. And I'd be like, damn, man, like that's a tough spot to be in.
It's hard, and especially right now when you're trying to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You know, bills are so high right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, and you're not able to work. But I'm telling you, if you want it bad, you will receive it. You can get it. I want it bad enough for me to walk every day to these business places and ask them if they were hiring. You're always going to find that one person that's going to look out.
It's all about how bad you want it.
Yes, you're always going to find that one person that's going to look out until finally we got in contact with this immigration lady.
Yeah, the Jamaican lady.
Yes.
Whoa.
Ooh, Jesus.
That was God sent. That lady told me within 6 months
you have your green card.
Paper. And I was like, what? 6 months? That thing didn't sound believable.
Yeah, was I the one that brought you to her? You brought me. I don't know what happened. Either you brought me to her or I brought her to you. But either way, She told us we was gonna get it within that certain amount of time.
In that
Okay?
same amount of time.
We applied, went to interviews, we got our green card. Okay?
And mine is a miracle to me till today because I actually went to my interview on my own. Because around that time, me and my ex-husband, we was not together, but he had already filed for me. So I actually went to immigration by faith,
believing
on my own with my attorney. And then they gonna ask me, "Where's your husband?" I'm like, they're like, "Why he's not here?" I said, "I got his number. You could call him." I gave him his number. He was in Iraq fighting. You know, he was in the
military. Yeah.
I don't know how they got in touch with him. When I gave the number, I just did it like, okay, that's all I got. They called him, and he actually answered.
Nothing but God.
And then they said, "Do you know that your wife is here with us at the immigration office on an interview by herself?" He's like, "Yeah, I know." He didn't know.
He didn't know.
So
he just agreed. He just agreed.
And then they're like, "Okay, can we proceed?" And he's like, "Well, you guys could go ahead and proceed. I'm over there at whatever fighting." Whatever words he gave to those people,
it passed.
It went through. It went over there. Like, okay. So I'm over here. I'm like sitting by faith. I just sat there on the chair by faith. I'm like, "Lord, you gonna do it. Because there's no other way. I'm here."
That was it. There was no other way.
When the lady got back to me, she's like, "Okay, we ready to do the interview." I'm like, "Okay." And then she asked me one question. I forgot what it was. She said that she needed documentation showing I was here at a certain year. I didn't have that with me. So I was like, "Oh, I don't have it with me." She's like, "Okay, once you mail that to us, your green card will be on the way."
Jesus.
So I mailed that, and my card came a month later.
It didn't take long. It did not take long.
I was like, "This is what I was going crazy for." Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's all just this card right here. You know, I've never used. Well, I used it because I traveled outside the country before I became a citizen. But that was the only time I used the card.
You never used it to work.
I never used it for nothing else. So I'm like, this is what America got us going crazy for. And I had to appreciate life.
Yes.
Because at one point I felt, "Oh my God, I need that so bad." And then I got it. I'm like, okay.
What's that?
So I said all this to say sometimes we look at people's life and we think they got it all
together.
Nobody knew that. I bet you. Nobody knew that. Y'all probably hearing that for the first time. Nobody knew that.
Nobody
Because I didn't share that side with just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to relate.
Yes. And we can relate.
We can relate. So she knew, I knew, and a couple other people, but don't let people make you feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't have people make you think that people got it figured out. It takes time before you actually get somewhere. And when you actually make it there, you still dealing with stuff.
There's always going to be something.
There's always obstacles. There's always something. It's always something. Yes. It might not be that, but it's something
else. Something else. And that's why we have to try not to kill for things, because when you don't have it, that's when you see you want it so bad. You want to kill for it, or you want to do the things that you're not supposed to do for it. But when you receive it, it's like, what? That's what I was killing for? That's what I was fighting for? Just wait on the time. I'm not saying to sit still and wait till it comes to you, because there's some things you have to get up and get it.
You have to work.
You have to have enough faith enough to go, because faith without work is dead. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that you have faith and you know that God is with you, get up, rise up, go ahead and get it. Don't sit and wait for it. It's probably just 1% chance you're going to get it if you just sit and wait for it. And there's the 99.9% chances where you have to go and get it out for yourself. I mean, if me and Lily didn't get up and do what we had to do, God only knows where we would be now. You know, only God knows where we would be. I'm not saying to get up and go do any type of illegal stuff, but you'll know if you just sit and listen to that still voice, you'll be able to know what to do.
Don't be lazy. And it's something, I saw something earlier about being in the right circle. Because you could be in a circle and that circle keep you as a prisoner where you are in a cage.
Yeah. Your comfort zone, basically.
You in a comfort zone. Like whenever you're around people that are lazy, wow, it's only a matter of time. If you're comfortable there, it's only a matter of time.
Spirit
for you
transfer.
To be lazy too.
Yes,
That's why it's
transformation of
important
spirits.
that you look at your environment. You see, like, is this person inspiring me? Like, when I get around this person, what am I getting? What are they feeding me?
Right, right.
If they're not feeding you, then
time to go on.
It's a
somewhere.
red flag.
You know.
You know, and that's exactly what we were saying earlier. If I was not inspiring you, you would not be here.
I would not be here.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If I was the type of person like probably like chilling somewhere, not having any type of future goals, you'd be like, oh,
let me move away from her.
Be out of here. You get what I'm saying? So you have to make sure your environment is good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody has their own vision. Like, for instance, Lily, you know, into the hair game. I'm into the hair game. What's comfortable for me is probably just to have my salon, be home, you know, be with my kids and still making my money, paying my bills and stuff, and then eventually be a blessing to somebody else. While Lily is right here, she's doing a podcast. She wants to, you know, go further into something else. Nothing's wrong with that. It's whatever's comfortable for you. It's whatever's comfortable for you, and it's whatever God telling you to do. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own visions, their own way to go in life. It's that simple.
I agree. We would like to thank Dollhouse Kitchen for being our sponsor for today. Thank you for providing us with cocktail, finger food, finger licking good. Yes. Thank you for sponsoring.
You're welcome.
What would you say to the Elita back then? Because I know you learned so much throughout the years. What would you say to that Elita back then, and what would you do differently as well?
As far as my life period, or like
I would say before you took the hair thing serious, before that time.
You know what? Honestly, I wish I had around me, I wish I had a mom and a dad around me to guide me, to lead me. So for someone that does not have that, and for me that did not have that, I would say to myself, look for a mentor to look upon to. Like someone that can lead you and guide you. Because there's a lot of mistakes in life you would bypass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If somebody was here to talk to you, to lead you and guide you. Now, because of all these mistakes, I'm where I am today, and I'm grateful for it. But there's a lot I didn't have to go through if I had me a mentor, if I had me a mom, if I had me a dad that was leading me and guiding me. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So basically, in this life, you cannot just be by yourself. We all need each other.
We do.
We need somebody to look up to. We need somebody to lead and guide us. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can do it yourself.
You can't.
No way. It's impossible. You'll just find yourself doing things over and over, just like in the book of Exodus. How many times does the Israel had to go around the land? 40 years. God had to keep them going around and around and around, all because they didn't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? So if we would be able to have a mentor or someone to lead us, life would be better. Life would be easier for us. And that's what I encourage you to do. Don't think that you can do it by yourself. No, you can't.
That's the biggest problem we have in the Black community.
Yeah. You can't possibly do it by yourself. No way. Because even while I was at home doing hair, in my head, yes, you thinking that, okay, you by yourself, you can do it. No, I had to seek mentorship. And if it was not for YouTube, I don't know where I would be, because I'm by myself. You know what I mean? When I was working in a salon with Lily, with all the other girls, we were learning from each other. You know, we were teaching each other. So if I didn't already have that knowledge, if I didn't already have that type of skill, I would have been more further back. I would have been more behind working at home, you know. But because I've been through the hair shows already, and because I've learned to work with the girls already, I had already had so much in me that I felt that I could have just take at home and learn it. And then I had YouTube to teach me so much. But believe me, we need each other.
Definitely.
You cannot do it by yourself. We need each other.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. We have a part in the show where we talk about what's trending.
So good.
Good.
So good.
Very good. Usher and Alicia Keys.
Girl. Everybody's talking about he just grabbed that man's wife. And I don't know, personally, I think he went a little too deep, unless they had it planned already. If they had it planned, okay, it's fine. But I also saw that her husband saying that, you know, he don't know what they talking about. You know, it was a great show or whatever. So as long as they're okay with it, that's fine. But to me, I felt that they were too tight.
I watched it and I don't feel like it was that deep.
Really?
No. They were performing. I mean, when you're performing, you got to give it your all.
Right.
They were working. That's how I look at it. It's entertainment.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean.
But she got to have that understanding with her husband. As long as her husband is okay with it,
everything's okay. Me, like I said, if they had been discussed, it may be okay. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would have liked that. I honestly.
I mean, what did he do? He explained everything he did.
He went.
Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something. What did he do?
When I saw it, it's as if he was the husband. Okay, all up on her in the back. You know, literally, it looked like he was the husband to her. But like you said, it was a show. It's entertainment. So then, yeah, that makes sense. But it had to be planned.
Hold on one second. But if you go back, hold on one second. If you go back to look at Usher performances,
that's what he did.
Live performances. This is Usher. He didn't put out anything new. This is him. He likes to put up a show.
Damn. I mean, that means
I'm pretty sure Alicia Keys probably had in mind that probably would have happened. But I think they discussed these things. I really think they discussed these things. I don't think he just went behind her without her knowing what's going on and start.
I hope so. But the fact that the husband then objected, he was okay with it, then I don't see why we talking. You know what I mean? But
they gave you that something to talk about. This is what they want. No, this is what they want.
They worked.
Yes, they want you to talk about them.
It worked.
And this is what we're doing.
Yep, it really did work.
You have a question?
My thing is, I look at it like, I feel like a lot of people have an issue with it because it was done live. Because had it been
a music video,
or had it been a movie scene where they're just the two leading actors, no one would have looked at it like that. They would have looked at it as they're two actors.
They're acting.
They did the same thing on the stage.
Yes, I agree.
When you're an entertainer and you're a performer, everything you do matters.
Yes.
And you have to entertain. What other if we really think about it, what other way, what other thing they could have done to have grabbed that much attention?
This was great marketing, if you ask me.
It was great marketing for her.
Great marketing.
For him, great marketing of that person that made that gorgeous outfit she had. It was brilliant.
And I hear they don't get paid for the football performance, but I also hear his sales went so high.
Yeah.
And
so they had to give it their best so they could sell their stuff.
And I guess they did.
That's what it is.
Shoot, no words. No words.
Great marketing, Usher and Alicia Keys. As long as the husband don't have no issue with it, I don't. Y'all wanted me to talk about it, I'm talking about it.
Right.
So y'all got it. Thank you guys for watching Tea with Lily and Michelle. where we are so obsessed with building. I am so happy that you came.
Me too, girl. Me
We
too.
had a great time. We had a time. We had a time. We
Yes,
had a
we
time.
did. Yes,
Thank
we
you
did.
so much. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Always.
Bye,
Always.
guys.
Bye.
I'm obsessed with building bosses. 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 Giving up is not an option. I'm obsessed with building bosses.